Good evening, everyone. Matthew back with another episode of my favorite LJN. This is round two, episode two, and this is the overall 17th episode of the competition. I take it back. That's the third episode of round two, 17th episode overall. Oh man, guys, I'm kind of torn. This is actually one of those videos where I'm really excited to kind of keep pulling forward, but man, just literally some of the best figures that I have in my collection are going up in this competition, scoring off against each other, and I'm not too excited about seeing a lot of my favorites potentially move forward. Some are going to move forward, and some are going to basically go home for the rest of the competition. Just some amazing pieces, and I'm not happy about it. But, again, I didn't want to keep doing what I did in the first round and kind of like move, wrestlers around so that the guaranteed non-best figures would leave the competition while the best move forward. I really wish I would have done that for round two, but at the same time, the figures that deserve to be in round two and forward, they already moved forward. So I don't know if that would have really benefited anyone, because I really couldn't look at one figure and say this one deserves it more than another. So right now we're just basically going off of what's next up on the shelf based on winners from previous competition, from the previous battles. So in the last video I mentioned some of the competitors for this video. Again, I did kind of skip over Series 4 again, which I don't know, I keep doing that. Luckily, with 5 competitions in this video, we're not most of the figures that I talked about in the last video are going to appear in this one, with the exception we're not going to see any of the demolition characters in this video. They won't show up until the next one, or possibly even later, as a matter of fact. Well, we're gonna get right into it. And I mentioned yesterday, or maybe not yesterday, but the last video, that I was actually kind of excited the way that the figures showed up as far as one-to-one competition, because I was super excited about potentially seeing both Killer Bees move forward. We know that B. Brian Blair, the original LJN Killer Bee version, moved forward, and of course the singles gear Jim Rozelle custom figure also defeated his Killer Bee counterpart. Now, B. Brian Blair did move forward in the competition. Now with Brian Rozelle, now again, absolutely love this figure. Not only the Killer Bee version, but I mean, when you actually look at the custom, everything from the tights and boots, knee pads, I mean, this is an absolutely fantastic color scheme. I absolutely love it. And of course, he's got this amazing custom belt that goes with him. And I absolutely love this figure. It has to be, I don't know if I would say among all my customs that this would probably be in the top 10 or anything, but I mean, this is absolutely a fantastic figure. If he wasn't as great, of course, he wouldn't be in round two, with the potential to move forward to round three. The one thing that's maybe standing in his way from progressing forward is arguably the best custom figure I do have. If not number one, Bret Hart is definitely on the list. Top 2, top 3 as far as customs go. This is just an absolutely amazing piece. And Bret Hart does have, a very similar, I guess, to an extent, pose like Rozelle. Both hands are low, one obviously higher than the other. 2 beautiful pieces. Again, not a wrong answer here. They're both fantastic. I keep stating that, what the individual wrestler in real life, what they meant to you, what Bret Hart as a competitor, as a professional, that's not supposed to play into my decision. It's strictly based on playability and, of course, aesthetics. But it's really hard to not factor in guys like Bret Hart, guys like Hogan, for example, and what they mean to you individually and personally from a fan standpoint. Now, an additional bonus with this Bret Hart figure, where Jim Brunzell just simply has one color scheme. I mean, Bret Hart obviously has a multitude of colors, and it's just a beautiful piece. And again, the jacket, I think, just puts it over the top, and that's why in this competition, Bret Hart is going to move forward to round 3. And this is one of the guys that I'm super sad to see go. This was just an amazing piece. Eric, absolutely loved my purchase for me, brother. Thanks again for selling this to me, for selling both figures. Bret Hart defeats Jim Brunzell. Now, we just talked about this figure just a few videos ago. Billy Jack Haynes, again, very simple with the yellow trunks and the Oregon in both boots and trunks. Everything from the little bird on his forearm there. I put the little custom belt on here. I mean, this is a fantastic piece. He and Nikolai Volkov, great poses, but again, they both share similar obstacles as far as having their hands maybe just a little bit too far in with a little bit too small. So he wouldn't have exactly the best, body slam pose. I mean, is it a top 15 pose? No. Top 20? It's possible. I mean, you look at the physicality of this figure. That is just a fantastic look. And of course, I didn't talk about it the first time around, but I just kind of looked at the back of the head right now. Normally, this figure does possess an accessory, a hat to go with them. I don't believe I have the accessory for this one. I'm sure eventually at some point I'll acquire one. That way all of my figures come with original accessories based on how LJN distributed them. And he's got hat hair, which is pretty incredible. I think that's a nice little touch. Beautiful piece. Definitely deserved to be in round 2. I'm super excited to have seen this figure move forward to rounds 3, possible 4. This round, this competition, he is going against another great. By the skin of his teeth, the Jim the Anvil Nighthard custom did defeat the original Jim Nighthard. Again, he has some of the amazing artwork going with the anvil on both pants and boots. Like Bret Hart, has the white and pink on the boots. Just a beautiful new display. Not just the plain pink pants like he would with the regular LJN. Of course, white and black stripe, I should say. And of course, he's got the little heart. Beautiful figure. The only thing that kind of something that kind of kept me back from not choosing this the first time around was the fact that his skin tone is darker than what you would see on the Jim Neidhart LJN original. But I just think it's just the way that the customizer painted the figure. I mean, otherwise, I mean, it's just an overall fantastic piece. Now, pose-wise, Jim Neidhart is actually a much better figure than Bret Hart, and Bret Hart is, just a perfect figure overall. And we're talking custom or original. It doesn't matter. Great figure, and Jim Neidhart might even be better. So, if it does come down to the Hart Foundation in the last 2 of this competition, there is a strong possibility that Jim Neidhart walks away as champion. Just a fantastic pose. And again, he's going up against another great figure. The simple fact that the Billy Jack Haynes is an original, that too plays a great deal in my decision. But 2 phenomenal pieces. Again, you'll hear me say this often. With a lot of these figures, there's no wrong answer. It all boils down to our certain tastes and what have you. So, I'm pretty sure there are some folks out there that hands down would choose this figure to win the entire competition. Why not? It's a great piece. But this Jim Nighthard is just too good. Absolutely love it. I love the colors and some of the other graphics on here. So Jim Anvil does move on to round 3. And it's not surprising at all. The Hart Foundation, I expect them to go very far in the competition. Like I said, is it possible that they end up being the last 2? Right now, I can't say one way or the other, but, strong possibility. These next 2 might be just as difficult as any other battle. We'll start off with one, possibly my favorite, well, either my favorite or my second favorite figure that I purchased from the Raider Nation on eBay. This is just an absolutely fantastic Koko Beware figure. As much as I love the original, the paint job on this, the color scheme, some of the colors are just kind of, switched up. Red jacket, red and white jacket with, I believe it was red pants, if I'm not mistaken. And, of course, the custom figure just, swapped the color scheme with white and red jacket, white pants, red jacket. And I did throw the custom belt on here, just so that all my figures are belted. Hair wise, the design of the hair, I don't know if that's glitter or what they have on the figure, but the extra shine really makes it really beautiful. And of course, I don't know if that's a toucan or what that is, but it's just an absolute gorgeous piece. I love this one, and I actually expected this figure to probably go to round 3, round 4. Because of the size of my collection, I think 4 rounds normally would be about the 4th round would be about the finals. Round 3 probably be semifinals. Round 4 be finals. But I think because of the sheer quantity, we're probably going to have 5-6 rounds possibly. Or maybe I'm just overestimating. I don't know. Otherwise, but just beautiful piece. I absolutely love it. Now, he does go against one of my favorite purchases from Wrestling Writer on eBay. So a lot of these figures, a lot of the customs, as I've described before, on eBay, one of the best sellers that I deal with is Wrestling Writer. So, and again, Eric, he provides me some of the best figures, and not only just the best as far as aesthetics. This one, this Hercules, it's a resin figure, I believe. It's hard plastic. Otherwise, if this was an actual rubber figure, this could potentially win the entire competition. The resin does kind of take away from the value to me. And the Raider Nation Hercules that this version squared off against in the last round, both, of course, the original LJN version and the Raider Nation Hercules. The Raider Nation's Hercules actually had a better chain, more metal, while this one is it feels plastic. But I'm not going to complain about a plastic chain. It's a beautiful accessory for an absolutely fantastic piece, and his arms aren't quite as high as if he were like Macho Man, hands over the head type of deal. The fact that they're out just a pinch makes this at least one where you can actually throw punches and whatnot, and not a great body slam pose, of course. But, it's a little bit better than that little Sting pose where, you just basically power slam. And, with this figure, it's very simple. Just, kind of like King Kong Bundy or Greg Valentine. Just mostly black throughout for the most part. Trunks, knee pads, black hair and beard. Of course, with the boots, and I guess, I don't know, that's socks or that's just top of the boots there, but no, this is just a fantastic piece. I love this one, and when you're putting 2 of potentially my favorite pieces up against each other and only one can win, this is why I was so excited about this video with the competitors that are participating in this round, in this particular competition, because There are just so many phenomenal pieces going up in this video, but at the same time, how do I choose any of them? I mean, they're all spectacular. Rubber figure, resin. Rubber always, the rubber, to me, it's just simply LJN. And I can't really say my favorite LJN if it's a resin figure. But at the same time, it is LJN style. And I did put LJN originals, LJN customs, and of course resin figures in here for a reason. Tough call. Beautiful Coco Beware, but Hercules does push forward to round 3, and like I said, this is one of those guys that could end up in the either semifinals or even the finals. This is just a fantastic piece. Is he good enough to beat either the Hart Foundation, which right now I feel like might actually be the two figures to beat? I don't see why not. Fantastic piece. And I really haven't made my decision about any of these pieces yet. This is just something I'm kind of choosing as I'm talking about them. But I don't like to spend too much time going back and forth for the simple fact that I don't want to waste people's time. I'm sure you're as interested as I am to see who's going to come out victorious for that particular match. This is another one that I'm not excited about because, again, this Kenpoterra custom is absolutely phenomenal. The hair alone, compared to, the purple Kenpoterra, brown hair. I mean, regular Kenpoterra, basically an all purple figure. This one's all black for the most part. Purple Kenpoterra had a WWF, of course, emblem. This one looks like more like a Team USA Olympics type of deal, if I'm not mistaken. And that is exactly what this one is. It's a Team USA Olympics. Yeah, and I like that little belt. One of those like bodybuilding belts you wear to keep your back straight. And of course, don't know if he actually had a belt like this. I just kind of put him on there just so that he's belted. And this one, the one I buy from Eric, they normally come with belts that the wrestlers won at some point in their careers. That's why a lot of my customs you'll see with 2 or 3 belts on them. So this one might have actually come with this figure, if I'm not mistaken. I think it did. Yeah, because I don't remember actually purchasing that belt individually. So this may have actually came with the figure directly. Beautiful piece. Again, I absolutely love my custom collection. That's why I wanted to include them. I definitely wanted other people to have the opportunity to witness these beautiful pieces because they're not just toys in my eyes. They're works of art, and just to get the opportunity to just kind of showboat them a little bit, I guess. Give some of the artists recognition for their hard work. That is just a fantastic piece. Love it. The reason I'm not excited about this particular battle right here is because Kenpoterra is going against possibly the best LJN figure of all time. Now, this figure has the pose I absolutely love. The Hogan, the Andre the Giant, the Big John Studd. This is the fighting pose that is absolutely perfect. The perfect body slam pose, and with the legs spread apart. Perfect to be body slammed. So a little bit different than, let's say, Hogan, for example, or any of the guys, really, where they have both hands closed for punching. So this one does kind of have like this little uppercut chop here with the open hand. So it's not just, slapping. I kind of like the little uppercut thing that he does. Good punching. Again, perfect body slam pose. Just a great figure. I love the ones, again, with weight to them. So, that to me is just incredible. And as I said, very few figures can actually have a pose so perfect. Now, does a custom Kenpoterra, is it good enough to defeat an LJN original? You actually look at the color scheme on Kamala here. The face paint, Is it the most, intricate, painting I've ever seen? Of course not. But it's just an overall beautiful figure. The one odd thing that's kind of about this is that um, they don't really, fill in the bottom part. But I mean, what's not to love about this? Two beautiful pieces. Gotta choose one. Love Kenpoterra. Absolutely love this figure. You're not going to beat a figure with this amazing pose. And Kamala is going to move forward. Oh, excuse me. Alright, guys. So the last battle. So I have a pretty good idea just looking at these two, which one I think might win. And I say might because until I actually start looking at them a little bit more and start talking about them some more, it might not be as easy as you might think. So I did leave the crown downstairs, but I do have the Harley Race with custom championship belts. The crown is actually custom as well, so it's made out of resin or something, and doesn't really sit on his head very well, anyways. So again, with figures like this, $1 Million Man, honky tonk man with their suits and whatnot on. I mean, I'm not a big hater as far as talk about guys have to be in wrestling gear, which normally consists of pants or trunks or something or those singlets. As long as they got a great fighting pose, a great look. I mean, I could care less about what clothing that they're wearing, and this is a fantastic piece. I absolutely love. I don't know if it's a jacket or if it's a robe or what this is, but I mean it's just fantastic. I love it, and that's just a good look for Harley Race. The one thing that holds him back, and might hold a lot of characters back in this competition, again, the terrible fighting pose. Is it a bad figure? Of course not. As a kid, you're make believe. You could pretend that you're doing body slams and clotheslines and all that, but it's just it had the potential to be a fantastic, if not perfect, figure. And display wise, absolutely, I would call it perfect. But if you're actually going to use this as a kid, or heck, like I said, I've been using them just because I never had these and I just want to have fun. And when I decided to go ahead and start making these videos, I'm like, you know what? Let me do a couple Royal Rumbles just to see, what the play feels like. Have something a little bit more to talk about. Because, yeah, you could look at them and pretty much tell what you're going to be doing. But if that were the case, I really wouldn't have discovered that, Greg Valentine was as great a figure as he was without doing so. Harley Race, beautiful piece. Huge fan of that one. He is going up against Bam Bam Bigelow. So Bam Bam, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I kind of remember him coming into the WWF early 90s, and I always remember him doing cartwheels in the ring, and I believe it was either Nintendo or Super Nintendo. I don't remember what the wrestling game was, but Bam Bam Bigelow wearing this outfit, or at least something similar to it, doing cartwheels in the ring. and of course, later on in life, 95, for example, I believe when Major Payne came out, and of course, he made a guest appearance in that movie. Just seeing him as this big, buff biker guy, he just didn't look like the whole cartwheel Bam Bam Bigelow character. Again, beautiful, beautiful piece. Love it. Love the darn fire on the head. I mean, gorgeous piece. I just can't brag about random treasures enough. I mean, this is just a fantastic piece. I absolutely love it. I just wish overall when LJN did create, this character, create this figure, of course, Random Treasures, when they make their pieces, they mold the figures after the original LJN. Those that aren't, of course, Random Treasure exclusives. So if his arms were up some, this, if this was like a Big John Studd-esque, pose, this could have been a character that could have potentially won the whole competition. I mean, this is just beautiful, man. I love the fire on here, and you know it's simple for the most part. You look at his back. I mean, it's just pure black, just up and down. I mean, the fire is really beautiful on the head. It's a fantastic piece. Absolutely love it. Is it good enough to beat a Harley Race? They both have same issues with the arms down. Can't really, do much as far as throwing a punch. Body slam basically non-existent for either character. Now Harley Race, again, he does come with the custom crown. Now, is that one accessory enough to put him overboard to defeat Bam Bam Bigelow? No, it's not. Love Harley Race. I really wish that character or this figure would have moved forward in the race, in this competition a little bit further. At least one more battle, but he went up in some stiff competition in Bam Bam Bigelow. Just a great figure, and I'm super excited to have had this one. I'm actually bidding on another Bam Bam Bigelow LJN original, of course. Hopefully, I can get it for a lot less than what these figures normally sell for. Normally, all hands jacked up, all black, face peeling, all black, nose popped off. You're still going to spend close to $100, if not more, for the fat figure. I did find one. It's not mint condition, but I mean it is in enough, good enough condition to the point where if I can get it for $60, $70, I think I'll jump all over it. Now, if I'm having to go north of $100 for it, I've already got a Bam Bam. I'm perfectly content with this. But like I said, when I buy original or when I buy customs, whether they come from someone like the Raider Nation, for example, or something from like Wrestling Writer, or any of my favorite customizers, or if it comes from Random Treasures, I still kind of look at them as customs. Oh, Random Treasures, obviously has the exception. Random Treasures is more of a asterisk in front of it type of deal. But I still try to get the originals when I can. Great figure, Bam Bam Bigelow. Love it. He moves on to round 3. So it is approximately 10:58 p.m. Local time. So I am going to close this video in the next few moments, and I am going to grab the next set of figures. Hopefully I got a correct list here for you. Alright, so we went with Bam Bam. So the next one is going to be Smash versus the Custom Honky Tonk Man. Let's see, White Shirt Hogan is going to face the Custom One Man Gang. And then we're going to do the Custom White Suited $1 Million Man. Is going to take off again, or square off against the Custom Referee with white shirt. Custom Rick Martel is going to face Custom Tito Santana. So Strike Force, that's going to be a tough one. I kind of have an idea of who I want, but at the same time, the Strike Force Tito Santana custom is really amazing. And with I don't know, the pretty boy model Rick Martel look for the custom Rick Martel, that's gonna be a tough choice between the two figures. Who I love them both. So that is gonna put us 2, 3, 4. Oh, so I might have to do one more, which means I'll probably put someone like Slick against Jimmy Hart, and of course figures like Jake Roberts is also but that's gonna probably be in the next round or the next video. I won't have that in the next round. Just trying to keep it to five competitions per video. Alright guys, thanks for another fun video. I really enjoy making these, and hopefully I can keep making them as long as you, the audience, are interested. Good night everyone.